everybody. What a beautiful night to be extremely awkward. To embarrass yourself. But also we're here to express ourselves in our weird, divine spark within. You know what I mean? 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 You know, folks, it's so good to be here. It's so good to be here because I'm just a ball of chaos and I need somewhere to put that sometimes. And this is a good square to put it in, you know what I mean? Otherwise my parents have to endure me longer than they should. I'm looking at you. Gosh, it's really good to be here. And, you know, like a lot of people in this room and like a lot of people who will choose to be, I'm on a spiritual journey. Ooh, that's a bit of a taint for the ego, isn't it, if I say that aloud? And, you know, part of the spiritual journey is trying a bit of everything. Trying a bit of everything. Meditation, tree hugging, pickling, you know. A bit of everything. And I can say, I've done a lot of pickling. And, you know, I tend to forget about the pickles and I shove them to the back. And my best friend can back me up on this. Yeah. Lots of pickles. Part of my spiritual journey has been not complicating it too much, you know? Pathologizing, you know, you got a bit of Freudian, you got a bit of Jung, you got a bit of transcendental meditation. But, you know, I've decided it's really simple. It's really simple. I'm a woman full of gremlins, goblins, and ghoulies. Do you see it in my eyes? I'm full of it. Being full of it is deciding what is fertilizer and what is shit. You know? And, you know, some of my gremlins are... they're great. You know, I have one for everything. I've got one for substance abuse. I've got one for stealing. I've got one for tax evasion. That's another one. You know, they turn up at my door and I go, it was the goblin. Don't look at me. It was him. Who? Him. The little goblin in the corner. Anyway, that's a side thought. And one goblin that's really getting on my fucking nerves, you know, sorry, mind the swearing, is the goblin of love, everybody. The goblin of love. What a little terrorist, might I say. You know, and part of this manifestation of this goblin is falling in love with like 3 people a day. Do you know how much admin that is? Admin. Name. Do they like cats or dogs? What's their favorite color? You know, that shit, that's a lot. It's a lot to remember. It's a lot to feel. You know, but it's a goblin. It's a goblin nonetheless, you know, and you can kind of, any interdimensional creature, you can take it half seriously. You know, you're not in this dimension, mate. You don't have power over me. Yes. My best friend's nodding. That's all I need. And, you know, a few years ago, I went through quite a difficult life experience. And I was diagnosed with tongue cancer about 7 years ago. And, you know, most people would go, oh, how terrible. Yes, it was terrible. But it was also fucking fantastic. Because the goblins were off on one. They were off on one. The people of the NHS are gorgeous. I had a crush on my surgeon, my surgeon, my Macmillan nurse. I had it going off. I got drugs. I had attractive, professional Arab men sticking their fingers in my mouth. I was having a good time. And people were like, how terrible. And I was like, yes, how terrible. My goblins, man. But it was, you know, the real fun started when I was recovering from my surgery. It was a brutal surgery, nonetheless, okay? But, you know, I had my ketamine, I had my morphine drip, I had Zaid Awad as my caregiver. Beautiful man. A beautiful man. And whilst I was recovering from my surgery, I had to take, if anyone's had a major surgery, you have to take little walks around the ward to get your blood flowing, you know? Get your blood flowing, get the recovery going. And on these walks, it was like walking around a beautiful garden. I would, you know, wave to the nurse. I would wave to the doctor. By the way, I couldn't speak, so it was all in the eyes, you know? It was like... And my favourite, I know you're not supposed to have favourites, but I had a favourite. It was a gentleman who was on respite from the local prison. He was beautiful. And there's something about him, he was his shackles, you know, and also his uniformed guards. They were pretty. But on these walks, I started to notice a black cat following me around the ward, and I was like, "What are you doing, following me around? What are you doing, following me around?" But I think this creature was trying to tell me something. You know, was trying to tell me something. But they adjusted my doses of ketamine and morphine and it disappeared. God, I didn't get the wisdom before it disappeared. But I guess you could say, ladies and gentlemen, that the cat got my tongue.